What's cracking? What's up, you guys? You didn't know I was going to go live, did you? I know, I'm not ever saying it. Never announcing it. I did the other day, though. I need to start announcing it. I need to announce it. I didn't even know Cam was live. I did not even know Cam was live. There's supposed to be a space later around 6:30 with my man Patrick. I'll probably jump on and join that. What's up, Steve, over on Facebook? Hi from Toronto, Canada. You're the furthest one right now that I know of. He is going off about Candace right now? Is he? What's Cam saying about Candace? Is he like mad? Is he happy? Oh yeah, I see that he's live right now. Yep, Candace Owens resorts to mocking me after I expose. I want to watch it. That's what I'm kind of getting ready to talk about. So I wonder what his view is on it. Well, I guess the difference is opinion. What's he mad about? Is he mad that she's going to challenge TPUSA? Is that what, or she accepted it, or what? Or did she actually say something? Did she actually say something to Cam, like personally, or what? What's the deal? He isn't happy with her at all. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if something was said to him directly. I don't know. He hasn't shared it with me. He isn't happy with her at all. She's a grifter. She is live right now too. She brought him up in a bad way. What? Is this like all breaking news? Is this all breaking streamer news? That's what I want to talk to you guys about. Like the whole stuff with Candace. Ooh, it's interesting, isn't it? I want to know. I've texted him a few times, but he's been so busy. Ooh, what's going on? Does he have a call-in number? He should have a call-in line. I mean, he's like, Cam's like big time, right? He's like way more established with followers and numbers than me. Which, by the way, why I just said that, make sure you guys share this out. Share it on Facebook, you guys. If you're on Facebook watching, share it, like in all groups and everything. Share the page. It's a little bit different on YouTube because you have to like send the link to people. You can't just like share it on a page, but you guys can still share it. I'm going to text him right now. That's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Hey, bro, you need to call me. It's not. I'm not saying I'm like defending. It's on his channel, Cam Hibby. That's where it's at on YouTube. He's watching an old live from the day. What? He has to. I need to see what's up. I need to see what's up with Cam. Hey, you guys, real quick, while you guys are all joining on, don't forget, please go to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee. Those are my donation links. They help for traveling expenses, getting to events, getting to protests, getting to whatever sort of event, maybe even getting to this live debate that's going to happen with TPUSA and Candace. Wouldn't that be a good one to get there? So please, y'all, Think about that. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee. Those are ways you can contribute and help out. The super chats help a lot too. They do. They really do. It's like a once a month thing. So it's like a sum check, so to speak, or payment. And then they do take a pretty big chunk. They take a pretty big chunk out. I'm going to post one more place. Posting on X. Also, like I said, there's a space. Space. With all right, one minute. Let's share it out. Let's keep getting the numbers up. Let's keep getting the numbers up, please. All right. I had this pinned everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Rumble. What am I forgetting? YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Rumble. That's it. And I posted a link on X. Mike Simpkins says, also, if you go to Portland again, be safe, brother. Too many nut jobs these days. Yes, that is true. That is true. And as well, guys, super chats are open, so you guys can super chat. There's stars on Facebook, which I can't really see the stars while I'm doing this. And there's Rumble Rants. So if you guys do Rumble Rants, if you guys do stars on Facebook ahead of time, thank you very much. And like I said, other ways to contribute and help out is PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee. Each of those are the BC Preacher. Cash App is $ the BC Preacher. Everything is the. You gotta put the one and only, the BC Preacher. So what is this stuff going on about Candace? Okay, so to be honest with you guys, I have not followed the whole Candace stuff. I never was really watching her in the first place, like even 4 years ago. I mean, I catch things, but I don't like sit down and watch people. Does that make sense? I don't sit and watch. Like, I know how some of you guys, right? There's some of you guys who are very like loyal, which is awesome, like loyal to me and committed and loyal to other streamers and shows. I don't do it. I catch clips of here and there. And so, yes. So with the whole Candace stuff, there's been stuff that I've heard, stuff that I've seen, and of course the rumor mill is out there with Candace, right? Oh, she's gone off the deep end, she's off the hook, she's done switched up, she's no more MAGA. All the major talking points, right? So I don't know everything that she's done said. I do know that from my understanding, from what I have heard, is that she's wanting to get down to the nitty gritty of what happened to her friend, Charlie Kirk. And from the rumors I'm hearing is that she's kind of, I guess, blaming TPUSA, that they have some involvement in it. And then as well as what's his face? Oh my goodness. Israel's prime minister, right? From my understanding. Mike says Candace saying Charlie was set up, basically. Okay, so in a nutshell, she's saying Charlie was set up. So here's my thing, because I know there's been a lot of like people have been coming at Candace, and even if Cam is, I don't know. I mean, it'd be a question for him, and I'll probably ask him. Like, what happened to Candace being like a valuable source? Like, she did her research. Everybody loved her. She was digging. She was getting the research she needs. She was blasting people to now it's being dismissed. Does that make sense? Like, why is it now being dismissed? Any information that she does have, or any knowledge, or if she, I don't know if she has facts, right? I guess from my understanding, it hasn't been proven yet. She's been saying all this stuff for the past 2 or 3 months about what happened with Charlie, but there's been nothing proven, correct? From my understanding. Um, but why, or from anything else that she's been saying or believing. So why do we now not believe what she says, but we did believe it at one point? Is it because it was like Team MAGA and she was all MAGA, MAGA, MAGA? Is that why we believed it? And she was against the left, and now it's kind of like she's not left, but she's kind of independent, and she's kind of seeing things, or I should say, saying things about both parties or both what's happening in a broader scale. And so now the people that she was at one point on the same train or liking or loving, she's now also calling that out. And so now we're like, oh, okay, well, now it's not right what you say. Does that make sense? They always say follow the money, and I bet she's getting big paycheck to say stuff. Possibly. Right? Follow money. And right, obviously she has money. So when you have a situation or platform and production like Candace has, or no matter who it is, right? You have money tied in. There's money behind it. There is money behind it. Her not going to his memorial was a huge red flag. Okay. So, but again, there's always money behind these bigger name people. I mean, Brandon Tatum, David J. Harris. You see now he went from where he was to Newsmax. You have Graham Allen. I don't even know if you guys even know like kind of Graham Allen. I remember when I first saw he was doing like funny type of stuff, like an Eminem type style person, like back in 2017. I've watched all these people like grow, and it's just like I scratch my head, like how in the world? But they get the right people behind them, the right teams, and they grow. You know, the right people who believe in it, the right people that have the passion to help them and enjoy certain things. Like, you know, you get somebody who likes production, right? Well, they're going to be a big production person, especially if they live in your city. It's like, well, I don't want to be in the front of the camera. I'm just a producer, and I'll help set all this up. Well, you get that person behind you, and they have a passion to do these type of things. It's going to help you out, right? It's that team camaraderie type of thing. So all these, you know, people have that. Yeah, Chad Prather. So my thing is like, what happened? I don't, like I said, I haven't followed it all, but I'm like, I guess here's my question. Why are we saying that she is so far off? And the question is, do we know for a fact that she's so far off? Is she far off? And do we know for a fact that she's far off? Like, is it really completely, she's out there left field, not making sense? Because keep in mind, back in 2020, when Trump either the election was stolen or he lost, however you want to say it, remember, we were on the bandwagon, or a lot of people were on the bandwagon of, hey, he still is president. He still is in the White House. He still has the briefcase. He still has the red button. Many people were believing it and rode with it for the next 2 years. Like, seriously. And I'm not talking about as far as Q stuff. I'm talking about as far as what people believed. So we were believing, a lot of people were believing that till the wheels fell off. So why couldn't she possibly, right? I'm just throwing it out there. Could she possibly be right? Is there anything that she could have possibly that has evidence to whatever she's claiming? Now, again, I don't know everything she's claiming, but obviously she's saying something, correct, that is making people upset, and people are saying, well, she's off the rails and what she's saying isn't true. Why are we saying it's not true? Why are we saying it's not true? Why are we saying it's not true? I mean, we said something that wasn't true, and yet, Trump's going to be back in office within the 4 years. But guess what? It was all 4 years. But we were saying, oh, wait till 2022. He's taking back over the White House. We were believing these type of things. So were we in the same category as what we're saying Candace Owens is in? It's a thought, right? It's just a thought. Here's my big question. Why in the world would a mother and father turn their son into the cops for something he did not do? What's that referring to? Here's a good question. That was on Facebook. Kimberly, why in the world would a mother and father turn their son into... Oh, are you talking about the shooter? Again, that's this whole thing, because what's happened in our society since you want to say probably the Sandy Hook era, is that you have all these different conspiracy, red flags, setups, and things like that. Then you get money involved in it, and what people will do for money is off the hook, right? So the question is, why would a father or mother turn their son in for something? If there's, I don't know. I can't answer that. The only thing I can answer with is money or power or some sort of benefit. That's the only thing I could think of, right? I mean, to do something like that. And then it's sad that here's the thing that's sad is, like, it's sad that we have to think like that we're in a place in our society, in our world, that we have to think everything is about a power move or a power play or some sort of money, some sort of scandal, no matter who it is. That's sad that that's where we're at. And no parent in their right mind would do that unless it came down to money. I think a person, even in their right mind, presented with the right thing. I mean, we've seen it across the board, right? What do you think happens with the elite? What do you think happens in the music industry, entertainment industry, yada, 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 on down the line? You get that huge amount of dollar money sign in front of your face. We've seen people sell out. I mean, it's funny to say, right? Oh, they sold their soul to the devil, XYZ, but it's true. I mean, it really happens. So who knows? I mean, the question is, like, why? Kimberly asked on Facebook, why would a father and mother do that? Okay, right. If they're not out of their right mind, why would a father and mother or a mother do some of the things, the heinous things that we've seen with killing their own children, right? And think that they're going to get away with it. I mean, I know that's a whole different extreme, but it's in the same ballpark, like thinking like, well, why would you? We're talking about a money thing where it's like, okay, well, this is evil. This is going to end up getting you something that you're going to probably end up dying or in prison. Over here, you're going to get a benefit over it. You're going to get a house. You're going to get a Secret Service or protective custody. Your whole identity could possibly change if you do this, because they do have the technology to do that, right? We've seen, yeah, Hollywood's Hollywood, but there's some truth even in Hollywood. And even within Hollywood, we see, I mean, Mission Impossibles, right? You get your whole identity. I mean, Mission Impossible is no different than CIA and top probably secretive government stuff, right? You can get your whole identity changed, a whole mask ripped off or put back on. Yeah, we laugh about it. It's entertainment, it's movies, but there's some truth to that. So here's a briefcase, right? All $100 bills. What are you willing to do? Correct. He wasn't in Hollywood, and I'm just throwing that out there of what people could do. Okay, that's what I'm doing. And like I said, I have not followed Turning Point USA. I didn't follow Charlie Kirk. I haven't followed Candace Owens. I live stream and kind of do my own thing. Should I know a lot of this stuff? Yes, I should probably know more. But to be honest with you guys, there is a lot to go through. I mean, how many Republican conservative stars, icons, big name people are there? And to follow everybody and listen to everybody's show and spend day after day, hour after hour, that's a lot to do, and it's overwhelming. as well as try to follow different news, breaking news, try to know policies, because, you get out there in the field, half the time you're arguing about policies with the left, so where do you get your time with the Lord? Because if you do all this type of stuff, you're going to substitute different things, right? You're going to be lacking in some areas. But anyway, it's a lot to retain. It's a lot to do. It's a lot of work. And this has not been a full-time job to me. Even before, when I was doing it, it wasn't a full-time job. I had a job before in the city of Portland at working for the city while I was out live streaming, while I still traveled and did stuff. So there was only so much stuff I could do, just like there's still only so much stuff I could do now, because I still technically have a job. I've been off because of the surgery, but there's still only so much stuff I could do. So it gets hard to listen to everybody. So that's what I'm trying to say. I guess that's my point. My biggest question is, like, why now is Candace Owens so dismissed within the eyes of majority of conservatives, Republicans? Why is she dismissed? And why isn't her views or talking points or things that she's bringing to the table or presenting, at least thinking, critical thinking, we're all free thinkers, right? Supposedly. Why isn't it something to consider? At least consider. Is it? And then if you consider it, then you got to ask, is there a possibility? So is there a possibility with whatever there is that she's claiming? At the same time, is there a possibility with whatever TPUSA? Is there a possibility that what we saw, right, with what we've seen, that's the story, and that's what it is. Is there a possibility of that? Yes. Is there a possibility that there's a different side of the story? I would have to say yes, because of how we're living, because we say we can't trust nothing nowadays. So if we can't trust nothing nowadays, which is sad, then there is a possibility that whatever she has that she's presenting, whether she has facts or not, I'm sure she does, right? She's had facts before. So are we going to say that, well, now all of a sudden she doesn't have facts? She had facts in 2020 when we all loved her. Do we really think that she stopped having facts and having things? Or maybe is there a possibility that now she has even more facts of stuff, more things to present? Because in 2020 we're like, oh yeah, she's in DC presenting herself to the Senate, presenting herself to Congress, and we're like, oh, look at Candace go. She has facts. And she presents stuff. So are we saying now she doesn't? Maybe, but I'm just saying. So it is like I said, I'm not taking her side. I'm not taking TPUSA side. I'm just throwing this out there. Like, why has there been this big switch? Because of where she's at. And people are going to say, well, where are the facts? Right? Okay, fair enough. And I'm not. So again, I'm not defending her. I'm posing a question because we're free thinkers. That's what I'm doing. I'm just, here it is. Why the switch? What does she have? Why don't we believe her like we once did? That's my thing. Kimberly, she is always claiming she has the receipts and then gives nothing. Well, so here we go. So because now today, so the reason why I'm bringing this up for people who don't know, I saw one person mention it. The reason why I'm bringing this up because today, Candace Owens did respond, I guess, on her show. Like I said, I don't follow her. I don't watch her shows. I don't listen to her podcasts or read books. So I guess she did a show yesterday, and I heard the clip was like, because of her show yesterday, it triggered, I guess, TPUSA, and now she's going to do this. She's like, I accept this challenge. The challenge is going to be on their turf at their studio, I guess. That's what they're kind of proposing. So here we go, right? Is she going to do it? Is she going to present the facts? Is she going to show the facts? Is she going to show the receipts like everybody's saying? This is her opportunity to do that, correct? This is what people are waiting for. This is her opportunity, right, to show the receipts, to show what she has about Netanyahu and about this situation that it was set up and people knew, right? Because that's the rumors, right? So we'll see, right? She can't present what she doesn't have. That's true. You can't present what you don't have. That's to be seen if she shows up. Yeah, I mean it is. I'm just laughing. What I'm laughing about, Maria. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing about I'm laughing about your comment in the way in the way of how people see her. Like now we're saying like if she'll show up. Like we have I'm saying we because I'm, part of this, and I haven't dismissed her, but so many people have. That's what's crazy. That's what I'm laughing at. Like why? And it's not just about the Charlie Kirk thing is new, right? Candace has been around for 6-7 years, right? But now she's, now we don't, now she's not trustworthy. Now she's a wacko. Now she's a nut job. Now she's lost it. Now she's not a credible, reliable source. Like why? What made it that way? And I'm seriously, you got to ask yourself that, because here's the thing. And this is what gets dangerous, and this is why I'm saying this, because what if you ever come to a point, being a conservative, being Republican, being MAGA, and you say, wow, that I don't like how that sits with me, right? And you start to look at something differently. Does that make you a whack job now because you see something that you don't like that maybe MAGA did or maybe Trump did, and now you say something, and because you say the one thing that you don't like, everybody's like, oh, well, now you've done change. What's wrong with you, right? Does that make you a weirdo? I don't think it does. Evie says, people are so gullible, they believe anything. Research her husband. Good point. And I haven't researched her husband. I mean, I know what he's in with the Catholicism church. I do know that, right? I haven't done much research on her husband. So that's a good point. Research her husband. You might find something there. I haven't done that. Thank you for the super chat, Evie. Wendy Ward, $5 super sticker received. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. Thank you for those. Depends on the issue. That's what Robert Burns on YouTube said. Depends on the issue. What happened? I better look into this. Show the clip, BCP. What clip? I can't, and that's the thing. I can't really show clips unless I download things in my phone right now. I can't show much of things. If you're asking about what I'm talking about, Candace Owens today did her show, and she put out a message to Turning Point USA that she's going to accept the offer to debate them. It will be live streamed. So that's kind of what I'm talking about right now. Georgia says, because she's accusing Israel, France, Trump's administration, Turning Point USA, and Erica Kurt killed him. She's all over the place. Okay. So I guess like we're saying, wait for the receipts. So with that, so she's accusing him. Okay, so check this out, you guys. Here, let's throw this one in here, right? So she's blaming Israel, one nation, France, another nation, Trump's administration. Okay, so that's an administration. You could say nation, maybe, right? And Erica Kurt for killing him. What happened at 9/11? Do we blame anybody for 9/11? No way people would do something like 9/11. There's no way our own country, would do such a thing, right? Just saying. We were at a place in 9/11 when that happened, and then when things started to come out, we're like, no way. Why would our nation, our presidents, Republican presidents, be involved in such things like that, where 3,000 American people were killed in one of the biggest terrorist sort of things in history? You're talking about our finances, stock market. I mean, it affected everything, right? Why would our president? We were at a place then, before we are now. We're at now with all the technology that we have, all the live streaming, XYZ. We were at a place then that, wow, our own government? We couldn't believe it. Right? I mean, yeah, we can look back. Correct, Wendy Ward. We can look back and say, "Oh, he was a rhino." But I'm talking about at that time in the moment. In the moment, the word rhino wasn't even talked about. We weren't fighting like the way we fight with Democrats and this and that. We weren't having the huge rumors of wars on 9/11. Evie says, BCP, I encourage you to continue to lead and not follow is what you do best. Thank you very much. That's why I watch you. Thank you, Evie. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat as well. I'm just, that's what I'm saying. And that's why I said I'm not knocking Turning Point USA. I'm not knocking Candace. I'm being the free thinker that we claim that we love, right? That's the whole conservative Republican platform. Let's not get into the left of who we condemned 5 years ago, right? When they're wanting to shut us up, you can't have free speech. Okay, I'm having just a conversation about the subject at hand and what I've heard. Again, because I don't really follow, I'm not dialed in daily to Candace Owens' show. I wasn't dialed into Charlie Kirk's show. I'm not dialed into Turning Point USA. Yes, I know about, I just found out about Erica because, obviously the situation that happened, now she's on stage and things like that. She's the pillar. She's carrying on his legacy. Understandable, right? Rightfully due. Okay. So I'm not knocking anyone in this particular space, situation, or topic. I've just noticed that people have turned, I don't like Candace no more. So I'm like, well, okay, well, why? Like, I can understand not agreeing, right? Things like that. I don't agree with it. Okay. But here, like I said, here we go. Challenge accepted. She has the opportunity to prove the MAGA folks, the conservatives, the Republicans, the world, with some possible facts that she hasn't done yet, according to many people, right? That's what I'm saying. Now she has opportunity to do it. And with that said, the question has to be asked, does she actually have receipts? Does she actually have evidence? Does she actually have proof? Then you have to say, well, no, she doesn't have no proof. Or you have to say, well, yeah, there's a possibility that she could have proof. Because, like I said, here we have 9/11, where Bush was involved. Nothing's happened to Bush. Right? Nothing. But yet there's proof that he was involved. But guess what? He was contributing, being a participant in one of the biggest attacks on our nation. Nothing's happened to him. Why? Why hasn't anything happened to all these people that are going to be locked up? Cricket Hillary. Why hasn't anything happened to them? They're not locked up. We've heard that they're going to be locked up. They're going to be locked up or this and that. No one gets locked up. To be honest with you guys, Trump has been through more trial stuff than any president or anybody else has ever been through in recent times. So why hasn't Hillary been put on trial by Trump or anybody else? If she's really done stuff, like it's been said, why hasn't she been put on trial? Why hasn't she gone to court? I'm I'm just saying all these these are, for me, these are the type of things I look at. Like, honestly, I look at this type of stuff and I shake my head like, Laura, thank you for this $10 super chat. I know I have seen and heard things Erica is doing and saying that do make me think that Candace might be onto something, but I don't want to assume without proof. I thought it was poor timing. And that's and that could be some of it too with people, because you talk about a situation that just happened. It shocked the world. We saw it in real time. And we saw it happen in real time, correct? Like, how do you... honestly, to be honest with you guys might hate me for this, but it was the same sort of situation that people saw with George Floyd, right? You see someone get killed, practically killed, if you want to say with George Floyd, practically killed in real time. Okay, so for some people that triggered them. With Charlie Kirk, it was like instant, like, whoa, like, how in the world? Like, right? It wasn't a slow thing. It wasn't, okay, well, he's not complying, he's disobeying, whatever it may be. But both situations had an impact on people in general. That's fair enough to say. Both situations had an impact on people, where one may disagree, other people are celebrating and being like, yeah, it was deserved, flip-flop it, whatever. Either or, both situations had an impact on people. So, yeah, was the timing wrong? The timing, yeah, it could have been wrong because it had an impact on people. I mean, probably one of the biggest outside of a president, one of the biggest memorial funeral services that we've ever seen. You're talking about how many tens of thousands of people in a NFL stadium, which usually those hold anywhere from 45,000 to 70,000 people, plus people outside. That's pretty huge. So then she starts saying all this stuff right away, correct? She starts saying all this stuff right away, which gets people's heads to start scratching. But again, she was already saying stuff about things prior to that, correct? She was already she was already kind of being a whistleblower, right? If you want to say, a little bit before that. It's been over years that people have been saying all this type of stuff. It's not just like the past 3 months. Let's see. Evie says, we are here together for a reason. In my opinion, we are living through a simulation and born for this moment. I choose not to focus on the worldly things. We can use our energy on so much more. I agree. We are living. It's weird what we're living through right now. That's why I'm kind of referring back to 2011. And thank you for that $10 super chat, by the way. That's why I'm referring back to 2011. Is because of that, like, or not 2011, excuse me, 9/11. Because we didn't have the technology, we didn't have the right now sort of thing. You know, we didn't have the live streaming. We had MySpace at the time, to be honest with you guys. That's what we had. We had MySpace. We didn't even have Facebook yet. We didn't have live streaming. We didn't have X, and Twitter wasn't even going yet. YouTube was just basically kind of like scratching the surface. You know, so all these like little things, and then it's like I said, there was no you know how disturbing it was when it started to get leaked that it's a possibility that the government, our president, the government, the United States, was a part of 9/11. And look, here we are 23, 24 years later, and there's no one in trouble for 9/11? With all the stuff that's been put out there that points to Bush, it points to the presidents, it points to our government being involved, no one's in trouble. On one of the biggest things, no one's in trouble. So if we can say that on that level, yeah, Clinton was the previous president, but okay, the point being, it was a president. Point being, it was America. Point being, it was government. So if the government itself was involved in killing 3,000 people with whatever sort of deals or whatever was going on, 3,000 people, we're not talking about one person. We're talking about 3,000 Americans messing up our infrastructure, messing up our economy, right? Why is there a possibility that Candace has some sort of proof of something or evidence? If we're going down to all this evidence, and yet we're bypassing and letting 9/11 go, we're letting this situation happen, and oh well, that's out the way, and this situation, well, who cares about that and that? Then, I mean, so that even brings up more questions. Like, for one, is it a possibility that Candace has stuff, information? And then two, why are we holding her to this much more bigger accountability or bigger thing that we need receipts when we're talking about Charlie Kirk, one person, and then there was 3,000 people who died on 9/11 that we're not saying, okay, we want proof. We want proof what happened. Show us receipts. Show us receipts. We're not even really putting up a big deal about that. It's probably because, so much stuff has happened since 9/11. It's just like, okay, well, we have the memorial, we have the day of remembering every year, and the next anniversary comes and a couple trumpets are blown, bagpipes, okay, and we move on. But with, I'm like, that was a huge turning point for the world. For the world. That was you talk about turning points? That was a huge turning point for the world, was 9/11. That set something in place that many of us don't even realize what got set in place. That was, it catapulted like where we were going. The trajectory of our nation, where we were going, was based off 9/11. It was huge. And we're not, oh, where's all the receipts? And then the receipts are there somehow, but we're still not making the big deal of it. That's what I'm saying. Bush he's not in trouble. But yeah, we're going to say, okay, well, Candace, you need all these receipts for these claims that you're saying, which I get. Again, I understand, right? I'm not defending, I'm understanding. But I'm just saying, if we're going to be fair on these type of things, then we need to be fair and then ask these questions. Like, okay, 9/11 happened. We've seen other things since then. Alex Jones exposing things. Well, yeah, this was a setup. Well, that was a red flag, or this was a setup, and we believe them. So why is it not possible for whatever Candace is saying for it to be possible? Could it be possible? That's my question. Really, at the end of the day, it's like, why has everybody turned on her? Why are they saying this? And then at the same time, is what she's saying something that could be possible? If 9/11 could happen on our American soil under our presidents, with them involved, if we want to say, is it possible that whatever Candace has or what she believes, even if she believes it and doesn't have receipts, is it possible for what she believes? I'd have to say yes, it's possible. Now, how will that sit with us if it is possible or if it is true? And then if it sits bad with us, well, then what do we do? Because we haven't really done nothing about 9/11. They did it. It happened. And look where we're at. It changed the world. Look what happened in 2020. It changed the world. We didn't do nothing. We complained. We didn't even really protest like the left does. So that there was nothing that got accomplished with that. And here we are. They could do it again. And guarantee it, they probably will. They probably will, and they'll probably use National Guard. They'll probably use Homeland Security to target us. I strongly believe that. Yet we're sitting here, we're chanting for Homeland Security, which I understand. I get it. We want our borders protected, but yes, go get them Homeland Security. But then what happens when they use that same Homeland Security against us in the future? Because they will. They will. I promise you they will. Laura, thank you. Very true. I think we don't do it. I think that we don't it to be true, don't want it to be true. Okay. Maybe we are not ready for the facts if it is true. And that's probably what it is. I think it could be. I can't say it's impossible. You make a good point. This is why I love your work. Thank you very much. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it is true. I'm not saying that Candace is right and we all need to apologize to her, or that she's wrong and she's a Looney Tune. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, is it possible? And if we are the free thinking conservative party, love free speech party that we claim to be, at some times, should we step back and, okay, what's this person saying? What do they have insight? Is there something I'm not seeing? That, I guess that's where I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at, is like, okay, let's sometimes sit back, listen to what someone's saying, like really listen, think about things, consider things, contemplate, right? Meditate, whatever you have, some revelation, have some thought. Let's not always be so quick to and spray someone, right? Let's not be so quick to spray someone. Because none of us are 1 point away from Candace Owens that I know of on here. I'm not. I'm probably a few points of contact away from her. But even those people who are in contact with her, the ones that are in contact with her, they haven't even said anything. Oh, sorry, Evie. Yes. Welcome to the Great Awakening. Where'd it go? It was there. Welcome to the Great Awakening, but don't follow people for truth. Yes. Seek your own truth and understanding. Yes, there's some truth. There's some truth to that, what you're saying. I'd say seek the Lord for truth. That's what I would say for myself personally. You don't want to seek people. You start seeking people for truth, and you're going to end up all over the place with different opinions and thoughts and perspective. Even with me, I mean, there's truth I could say that I say based off scripture, but I still want you guys to go look and let the Lord reveal whatever he needs to reveal to you yourself. That's why I say I can't go off, like, there's some things I go hard on, right? There's some things that I'll bring the hammer down and be like, yeah, this is that, right? There's other things I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. And this is one of these things that I don't know. I don't have, hey, Candace, what's going on? Can you show me? Okay, I'm not going to say nothing, but I know. I can't do that. Brandon Tatum isn't, okay, here's another, what about Brandon? Officer Brandon Tatum. He's been good friends with Candace. What's he saying? Is he saying that she's off the hook? Or is he kind of keeping it neutral and being like, that's her, she's going, I don't know. I haven't listened to him either. Now, I know somebody who knows him. I've met him. I've been in the same room with him outside of political stuff. He was at Bryson Gray's wedding. I've talked to him a little bit. What's he saying? Has he cut her off? I'm sure he's had dialogue with her. They were friends. They have a company together. Or did. I think they still have it together. What's he saying? Troy says she's exposed several people in blatant lies by dropping actual receipts. She's exposed several people. Okay. So she has dropped receipts, by the way. Okay, sounds like, so Troy's saying on YouTube that she has dropped receipts. He is being neutral. Well, why is he being neutral? See? Why is he being neutral? So, I mean, you're talking about someone who was... See? This is why we have to... Tatum said he wants to turn Palestine into a part... Okay. You see what I'm trying to say? These are deep things. So here you have Officer Tatum, who's not saying nothing. He has questions for her also. They have, with all due respect, Mike, they have talked. They have talked. With all due respect, the questions he has for her, 90% chance that they have spoken. So he's not saying nothing. He's being neutral. Well, why is he being neutral? Brandon Tatum is not saying that he knows who murdered Charlie Kirk. He's not saying that, right? He's not saying that. Candace is saying that. But Candace and Brandon, BT, are close. They're close. They have a business together. Blexit. They work together. Blexit is still a thing. I'm just saying. Blexit is still a thing. Who is that? T. Kurtz? Is that correct? Hopefully I said that right. Candace is too far intelligent to risk her freedom, finances, life, unless she's fully certain that she's on the right track. I'm just saying that it's a possibility that she could be right. And time will obviously tell, right? Some way or another, time will tell. At the same time, regarding Brandon Tatum, okay, regarding production, regarding being a face to the world, regarding being a face to the conservative movement, that when you have power, when you have 2 million people that you influence, or 1 million, you don't say everything. Production, timing, also all sorts of things. Okay, I'm on it. Look, I have 150 people watching me on YouTube right now. My video here might make it to 3,000 people. Okay, that's not even the population of Oregon. It's a population of a small city, right? There's things I talk about with mods that you guys don't know about, and I don't come on here and say it. Okay, now we're talking about people who have major productions, people who are making, I know how much some of these people make a month, okay? Like, honestly, I know how much some of these people make a month. They're not going to come on and say stuff like what people think. It's production, it's networking, there's confidential things. They're not going to do that. No, mods don't really spill the beans. No, they don't. Not my mods. I know that. I'm respectful of your opinion. I appreciate that. EFO. These are the people who are destroying America. They want us to turn from Israel. That's a whole nother discussion. A whole nother thing. That's a whole nother, that's another big can of worms. But like I said, I think it's all interesting. I'd love to join a podcast with you with tons of topics. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. I've thought about a whole podcast thing again. You know, I'm not a big time person. So it's like, okay, well, do a podcast. How many people are going to tune in? Like 10, 20? I mean, like I said, my videos even here, like these live streams don't get, they don't 3,000 people. I mean, yeah, it's decent, but on a bigger scale type of thing. Yeah. And I know things have to grow and things like that, but I've thought about doing a podcast type of thing or something like this that's recorded onto a podcast. I'll get in drifting cloud. I'll get in trouble with Mama Bear if I spill. Yeah. Live streams are better. Yes, I like live streams. I wouldn't mind doing a podcast though. I mean, I've always wanted, and I was back in 2021. I was part of a show and I loved it. I love shows. I love having a team. I love talking to people and bouncing ideas off people. So I'd love that. That's one of my, I guess, I'd love to have like a breakfast club type of thing. Like four people in a room and we're just like talking about this topic, that topic, dialoguing, disagreeing with each other, but loving each other at the same time. Oh, that'd be so, that's my, that's like my dream of having like a good production type of show. Like something like that. Like, in it where it's not so structured, but yo, we're going here, we're going there. Like, whoa, what'd you just say? Type of thing. Oh yeah, we're going down that route. That'd be so just off the hook. That'd be off, and it's hard to find like-minded people to do that because a lot of people want so much structure within a box. Yeah, you do have to have some structure. I get it, but let's have leeway that we're not sitting here worried about a time limit. That we have the freedom just to we're going to do it. We're going to go down that vein and just see where it goes. Yeah, we might have to cut it off. We might have to take. That's what I'd really like. I'd really like to have, three other guys or two guys, a couple ladies that we could go wherever. Relationship type of just everywhere. And but to keep it very conservative, but to even have, if you want to say, I guess maybe how we view it, like liberal type of, thoughts, independent, we're in the middle type of thing, but to be able just to travel, that's one of my things I want really bad, really bad. And that's why I loved when I was back on the Now with Will Johnson and Jamal and Jay. I loved it. It was too short. It was, in my opinion, at times it was too structured because, the host wanted, it was their thing and they wanted it to move a certain way. So a lot of times it would limit time wise, which I get. It was their thing and that's how they wanted to run it. But yeah, I want that freedom just to, and with a few guys, I think it'd be very drawing. It'd draw people. I really do. Calamity Jane, I don't know if you're talking to someone. So does that mean Israel can do whatever they want? It must have been taught. I don't know if the state of Israel is not in the Bible. Correct. Just like the movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. I know everybody's probably tripping. Yes, Mike, you're correct. If they build it, they will come. Everybody's probably like, what did you just say? No, Israel is anywho. If you started with guests like Cam and Nick Shirley as guests, some fairly big names. That's how Joe Rogan. Yeah, but I don't want a Joe Rogan type of thing. I mean, I do, but I don't. I want like a Breakfast Club, honestly. And what's funny about the Breakfast Club, I don't know if you guys know about the Breakfast Club, Hot 97 New York. What's his face? Charlemagne, whatever. I know the person who started the Breakfast Club. I actually used to work with him. Yes, he's liberal, so there's not going to be no help there. So I know the person who's actually started the Breakfast Club, Hot 97 New York. Ebro. He used to work with me. Israel is the problem child. There is nothing spiritual about that fake country. Wake up. They protect peas. Thank you for that super chat, Evie. Israel is the problem child. And okay, so real quick, just got to be careful about talking about Israel. But I'm just saying. Yes, I would do Pastor Russell. Many of you guys don't know him. Rivers of Living Hope Pentecostal Church. Yes, that's his church. Ifo, I'm old school with that. Yes. So the Jews are God's protected people. Yes, they are. He made a promise to them. Yes, he certainly did. That was somebody else. That was Nick Shirley that texted me earlier. Okay. And Central waited to deploy for nice. Okay. Hands are shredded. Oh, wow. Wow. I was talking one of the officers, Portland. You're smart not to go there. Okay. I'm not. Team up with Oreo. Yeah, that'd be a decent one. The Jews are God's protected people. Yes. I thought there was a gag order in place. I'm not sure for who or what. Maybe some. I don't know. Oreo isn't good looking enough for the Reverend Gun. I mean, I listen, Calamity Jane. I do want to go there. It's just maybe not right now. And I probably will. I'll talk about this stuff. I mean, if I lose listeners, I lose listeners, right? I mean, I've lost listeners before. I've lost people unsubscribing, and you said something about Trump. I'm not following you no more. Okay, well, all right, fine. Remembering the days with Oreo, Will, and others. Yeah, Northern Grace. That's how a lot of people got started. Even if you look at some of the bigger name people, they all started like years ago. Years ago. Mark in Portland, thank you for the $5 super chat. Check out Just the Guys podcast. Our podcast. They are a group of conservative guys that talk about what's happening in the news. They are on Saturdays at 3:30 p.m. I'll check them out. Hopefully I can remember that. Let me write that down. I'll write that down. What are they called? I'm probably going to get off here in a minute and check out the space that's getting ready to happen or taking place on X. What was that called? Just the Guys. It's a podcast or is it on YouTube? Podcast. Okay. 3:30 on Saturdays. You know what? Here's another thing about me. I don't even know how to get to podcasts, you guys. Because I don't listen to like podcasts. I always do like YouTube. If I do anything, it's YouTube. So I don't even know how to get to a podcast. But I'm sure I could find out. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. Evie, why do people have to be such hypocrites? Like saying love is love. No, it's not. I recently visited Russia and your rainbow flags are banned. Amen. Love is not love. I'm with you there. I'm with you there. Thank you for that super chat. Your kids will show you. That was somebody else. The question you got to ask yourself with Israel is why Mossad hired Jeffrey Epstein as Mossad agent for information and tried to destroy Trump from being president. Yeah. Pantifa space. What about Pantifa? I don't want to talk about Pantifa. It's not Pantifa. It's not Pantifa space. It's actually Patrick. He's probably on now. Let me see. I can't pull him up on this phone, but I can pull him up on my other phone and play it. Let's see. He went live. He went on at 6:30. So let's see. Let's see if he's going. Let's see if he's rolling. Yep, it's going. I'll play it for a little bit while we're talking.
Charlie Kirk was doing was, incredible, and it was really, the movement was really gaining traction, and we see how that ended.
Hey, Money, do you know what I find surprising that...
So this is on X right now. If people don't know about X, Cam was calling out Candace, which is fine. I'm not mad at Cam for calling out Candace. I haven't talked to him.
And you brought that up. I mean, I was busy, talking shit and everything.
So the thing about this... I'm missing somebody else. So the thing about X, if you guys don't know, Twitter, they have these things called spaces where hundreds of people, anywhere from people from hundreds of people can get into this quote unquote space where everybody's talking and listening and stuff like that. And anybody can talk if they allow you to talk, or if you raise your hand, anybody can talk. So there's one going on right now on X called Patriot Corner PDX. Chit chat, open mic, nationwide, all are welcome. So right now it sounds like people are talking about Charlie Kirk. Go figure, right? It's the big topic of the day, obviously, with Candace Owens accepting the challenge. So yeah, I might go on there and talk a little bit, but love and hate the spaces at times. Love and hate, yeah. Hi, Big Spider Mike. Thank you for being. Oh, Spider Mike's in the house. Is it Spider Mike from the protest downtown? Hello, BC. Hope you're good. I chimed in when you said you lost listeners criticizing the president. Where'd it go? Criticizing the president is your right as a good American. Yeah, I mean, there's things I didn't like. There's things I don't agree with. But again, I'm coming from a spiritual place more than a socialist or type of thing, I guess. Misfits. So is this the correct Spider Mike that I'm thinking of? It says Big Spider Mike. Yuppers, all right. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying before, and I mean, especially at the beginning of the year, there was a lot of things I didn't agree with Trump. I got shunned. I don't care. But I still rock conservative, even in a lot of ways. And I've told people this, I'm probably more extreme conservative than some of the conservatives are. And that's the route I went with. And then I started seeing things, and I still do believe this in some points, that it's kind of like the same bird. And I do somewhat believe that the more and more I look at this, and I think that Candace Owens is looking at it like that. I think she's truly believing and seeing things for the same bird, just different wings. But I think Candace Owens is actually saying that and believing that. Evie says Cam is full of it too. Again, these people are paid. This administration, following all these huge podcasters, are exposing them for their lies. Proof is in the pudding. Watch and see what happens. So Evie says Cam is full of it too. Again, these people are paid. This administration, allowing all these huge podcasters, are exposing them for their lies. I don't. To be honest with you, Evie, Cam is not. He's not being paid. I know that for a fact. Does he have a pretty big platform? Yes. Yeah, but he's not being paid any big money. So, but thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat. I want to have a conversation with Spider Mike in person. I think it could be good. I like, to be honest with you guys, I'm different than a lot of the people down there. I just am. Even if I disagree with some of the people and things, I like talking to Spider Mike. He's never been disrespectful to me. He talks to me. I can play around with him. He jokes. Yeah, he may joke. He might have some coarse language. Okay, I can deal with it. Again, freedom of speech. Since that other guy was saying I'm against freedom of speech, I'm not against freedom of speech. But I joke around with Spider Mike. I could talk to him. And it's funny how everybody comes up with these names. Oh, Spider Mike or Maceface, and I get it with you. I get it. Because they're on the opposite side. We got to come up with the nickname. Okay, fine. But then once you know it, I'm not going to go up to quote unquote Maceface and call her Maceface. I'm going to probably say Leilani. That's what I'm going to say. Now, Spider Mike, his name's Mike. He might actually like Spider Mike. Yeah, he might. I don't know. I think it's kind of a cool name, Spider Mike. Little nickname. I mean, I got the BC Preacher, right? So black conservative, right? So he might like Spider Mike. I want to talk to Leilani too. Yeah. That's what I like about you. Thank you, Georgia. But yeah, there's a space going on. I'll probably jump on here in a minute and listen. Evie says, trust me and bookmark. Why didn't you get invited? Are you speaking to the White House, or is that what you're referring to? It's in the numbers and the same propaganda they spread. That part is true. Yes. So, okay, point. There's a point. You got a point. It is in numbers. Yes, because that's influence, right? Numbers can influence and reach and touch more people. It's true. I mean, even if I'm not invited to the White House, right? Even if I'm not, I still don't have a lot of numbers. My reach doesn't go far. I mean, and I already said that earlier. You know, this video will probably get at most 3,000 views. I know that. It's not a big reach because it takes time to build stuff. Like someone says, if you build it, they will come. BCP, those are just words. You and I don't let words affect us. I don't. You're right. You're right. And that's the thing. Even with being down there, Mike, being down there, I think I've seen, it's not meant for everybody. A lot of people can't stand it, and a lot of people take the words to heart, and it really affects them. And being in these type of spaces, like being at ICE or at any protest, I think the words and freedom of speech is fine, even if you're heated, right? Even if you're heated. I've seen you be heated, Mike. You know, being honest with you, I mean, I'm not saying heated as far as angry, but you've been very passionate. I can handle that, but some people can't, right? So some people who can't handle you being passionate about a particular topic, it can escalate because they don't know how to handle that passion that you have or to handle those words. Now, you yourself, I've seen you also be able to be passionate and then digress back. And you've done it. You even did it on space, right? Hey, here's my passion, boom, and then you digress even with that same individual. Right? You've been able to if you want to say backtrack or come back down, go up, come back down, even with that same individual and talk reasonable. A lot of people don't know how, it's like, okay, if you're going to come at, a lot of people say this, and I hate this saying, well, if you're going to come at me with that same energy, I want to match you. Well, like for what? Because all you're going to do is climb the ladder and then what? You're either going to come to a point where both of you come back down the ladder, or there's going to be a fight. Like a physical fight. So if we're not trying to really get to a physical fight, if we're really not trying to be, malice and anger and hateful, well, then why am I going to get to that point of like, okay, well, word knows, and well, who's going to do something first? Well, you do it. Well, you do it. Well, you do it. Well, you do it. And then you're sitting there for 15, 20 minutes asking each other, well, you hit me. Well, I know you won't. Well, you hit me. Well, I know you won't. So you just wasted all this energy and all this time to get to that level. And no one really wants to take the first hit, because if the first hit was going to happen, it would have happened half hour ago. Like, honestly, well, you do it. Well, you do it. Well, you know what would happen. Well, you know what would happen if I do it. Well, you do it. It goes nowhere. And so both people, the end result is both people usually come back down the ladder. Like, honestly. Evie says, lead, don't follow is why I watch you, but I question the people you give credit to when they don't deserve the credit at all. Fair. And I'll think about that. Thank you for that. Super chat. Lead, don't follow is why I watch you, but I question the people you give credit to. I can understand that, right? I can see your point. I can see your point in that, Evie. Appreciate the super chat. Would you consider making a video explaining if there's a difference between supporting Israel and the Israel government? Ooh, I don't know if I want to go there with you guys. I really don't know if I want to. Do they have me as a speaker? No, not yet. I don't. Georgia, 2277. I might. I'm not going to say yes or no. Evie says that she'll go there. LOL. There is a difference. There is a difference between the government and there is a difference, right? Because you have to go again. Even if Mike is watching, here goes my spiritual tip. Israel is a people. See, this whole thing over there with Palestine and Israel it's a biblical thing. It's very biblical. It has nothing to do with U.S. It has nothing to do with Russia. It has nothing to do with Asia. It's a spiritual, biblical thing that goes back to Abraham. That's what it goes back to. The roots of it is Abraham. That's the roots. So Israel is a people. That's what it is. But the Lord did give Israel, the person whose name was originally Jacob. Jacob is Israel. Okay, it's a brother. It's Abraham's son, just like Ishmael was Abraham's son, which became the Muslim religion. That's what Ishmael is. Ishmael and Jacob. Birthrights, hands were crossed, blessings. Ooh, it was stolen from me. XYZ. All this type of stuff. It's in the book. The book that some people think is fake, but it's in the book. So that's what this is all about. That's the history of what this stuff is about. It's two brothers fighting. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with, free Palestine or Israel's right, Israel's wrong, Israel's bombing, Palestine's bombing. They're at odds in war for a particular reason about a birthright. That's what they're at odds about. That's what they're fighting about is a birthright. And it's escalated through the years. But that's essentially that's what it is. They're fighting over a birthright. Who was the real brother? Who was the one in charge? Who had the blessing? That's what this is about. There's animosity, there's hurt, there's pain because Hagar had Ishmael, she was kicked out of the house, all sorts of stuff. That it's very deep, very complex. So that's a lot what this stuff is about. Evie, remember everything we have been told and learned is a big lie. Yes. And to be honest with you guys, for people who might not like this, I want to say it, the Catholic Church has a big part to play in it. A very big part to play in it. Huge part to play in a lot of this. And it's been a detriment, I would say, to a lot of Western Christianity. There. So, I mean, like I said, I could go all in there, but it's not time. It's not time. You guys will end up saying I'm like a Candace Owens. And I don't have the numbers yet for y'all. I don't have the numbers in following yet for y'all to do that to me. I'm small. I'm way down on the bottom. So, yeah. So that's. But Calamity J just laughed at me. She says I'm Catholic. See, so there goes one person off the list already. So do the Rothschilds? Yes. Someone's asking. You guys are talking to Spider Mike in here. So a lot of you guys know who he is, probably based off the live streams and him being around. I don't even know if he's still in here. Is he still in here? I don't even know if there he is. Jay Roberts, I'm not a co-host on her live space. Okay. Must have been talking about Pam. You still going against someone says you still going against the Catholics. I'm not saying nothing. I'm gonna Ham was cursed seeing Noah drunk. I'm not saying nothing. Jay Roberts, I sometimes take over when it gets heated to protect her sanity. Wait, yeah, I think even Mike, Mike handle, being in Pam's space on X. Mike, I think, handles it very well. Patrick and Mike are very good at it. Yeah. I like the reason why I like Patrick, because I don't even think he gets involved. I think he gets involved to settle it down. Mike last night had some words at times, which I get. I mean, it's his passion, right? So he's gonna speak up to where he speaks up. And I think Patrick being on her space was just more. Let him be in the middle. He's not really going to say too much to anyone because he was being, if you want to say moderator, I guess if that's the right word. I don't even know. But yeah, they're talking right now. They're doing one. Evie says, thank you for the super chat. $10 super chat says, no, you are everything you can imagine to be. Whoever that man is, he is. He lives in us. We have the power to be anything and do everything. We have the power through Jesus Christ to do anything we do. That's a promise. That is a definitely promise. Jay says, I get you're protecting her and you've been respectful. It's just frustrating. I'd have to agree with that part. It is frustrating, Mike. Not that you're helping her. No, not that you're helping her. That's not the part that's frustrating. It's like I wish there was more. Here's my thing, Mike. When it comes to the spaces with Pam, I wish there'd be a little bit more of reasoning. She's asked for proof, even in the bubble last night and the night before. I posted some proof of and like I told her the first night, there's a history of Antifa within Portland, of them attacking. They've attacked me and my family, black children, with violence, not just like with words. And then I've had the words as well. I've had actually more racial words from the left toward me. And I think that there was one guy in there last night that even kind of alluded to that when he was talking about, I think he must have been black himself, but he was talking about, if I see a black person, I'm even more pissed off because they're conservative. I'm like, well, that's also a form of racism. Like, to think that like black people can't be, and it's sad. And here, and Mike, I'm sure you can testify to this. You're probably not going up to a white person and say, oh, well, you're not white. Right? I mean, what white person, I'm sure, Spider Mike, do you go up and say, oh, well, you're not white because you don't think like me? But see, black people do that. So it's not only that, like for myself personally, I get it from black people, but I also get it from white people. Oh, you're Uncle Tom. You're on the wrong side of history. What's wrong with you? And things like that. And then I get that also from black people. And I've had it, I've had these things said to me even, it don't bother me again because I'm used to it, right? I can handle it. But I've had it happen even down at ICE. The black people, a couple of black guys, the black guy and the smaller black girl down there. Oh, you're a coon. Uncle Tom, house nigga, things like that. And it's like, that's just as racist coming from that as it is like a white person saying something. So I me and Rebel, other black conservative people, we get it from both sides. And I'm not saying that conservatives don't say it. I'm sure they have, right? They haven't said it to me, and that could be because I'm around, right? Just like I'm sure people on the left are probably not saying racial things to black people who are on the left, but someone on the right or conservative, they're going to say, oh, you're Uncle Tom, you're a sellout. You're on the wrong side. But I'm sure they're not saying that to a black person that's with them. But, BC, I do see that. That's absolutely, yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. And it's crazy. And what's funny is and I don't know what bothers me the most. Like I said, I'm fine with it, but I don't know which one stings the most. You know what I mean? I don't know if it stings the most hearing it from a black person or from a white person. And then at the same time, if it is a white person, that a black person like will team up with it, like, and be okay with it. Like it's really like any of the racism stuff. It shouldn't be on either part, right? It shouldn't be on either part. Yeah, and yeah, there are things. I mean, we can easily say, oh yeah, well, white people are trailer park, right? Oh, it's trailer park trash, white trailer park trash. I can easily say, yeah, within the black community, things like XYZ happen more. I can be, like I said, the way I think is probably a lot different than most, but I can admit things, right? I can admit that the black community is driven more off of like, or at least in times past, are more driven off of sports, shoes, image, right? I can honestly say that. I've been a part of that. I've lived it, right? But then at the same time, there are people within the black community who have a grind, who really want to work, who want to make a difference and want to change the way things have looked within the black community. And then, it's kind of like the trailer park, or if you want to say that, white, people say, oh, white trailer park trash. Well, do they want to be? And then again, you got to look at, well, everybody's in poverty in some sort of state. Like, yeah, okay, white trailer park trash is equal to the black ghetto. Like, real talk. Like, okay, so it's not a black or white thing. Both people are, and living in poverty for those people. And again, not all white people are white trailer park. Some are middle class. Some black people are not all black ghetto. Some are middle class. Some are rich. Some are wealthy. Some white people are wealthy. So, yeah. Anywho, hour and a half. Good little live stream. We all flesh and bone. Yep, we are. We are all flesh and bone. I wonder how long this space is going to go tonight. Mike, I got to give it to Pam, though. I don't know how she did it that first night. I heard it was like 9.5 hours. I don't know how long you stayed on, but 9.5 hours of a space. My goodness. Hats off to her for being a trooper at 72 years old, hanging out on a space for 9.5 hours. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I couldn't do it. BC says, Big Mike says, BC, I got Scoot. You're a great person, and I give you much love and respect. Stay strong. Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get off here soon and go listen to the space. I might chime in. I didn't chime in last night. I let people just talk. Somebody was trying to ask me, "Oh, let BC talk." I didn't want to talk. Sometimes you just want to listen. I might just listen tonight too. Mr. Bill is speaking right now. Only a Mr. Bill. You got to make sure you guys say Mr. Bill's name right, or he'll get mad. Only a Mr. Bill. Only a Mr. Bill. Are they texting me?
I wanted to say I'm not the one that said Tommy could turn it around. Somebody else said that. I have stood out there with Tommy.
No, they're talking about Tommy now. Anyway. All right, Big Mike. Peace. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining and coming on here, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Jay Robert says, thanks, Quincy. Have a great one. Yeah, I'm going to get off here probably and tune into this. I thank you guys for listening. Like I said, I just wanted to come on here and mention the whole Candace Owen thing. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to her discussion, whatever facts she has, whatever she wants to say. Obviously, we have seen her in the past time present papers, evidence to courts, to Congress, to people. I think she will this time. I think that. I will try to get a hold of Cam. Like I said, I've texted him, but he hasn't returned calls. So hopefully we can talk. I'd love to hear his views and thoughts. He actually just text him again and see if he will. Where's he at, Cam? I'm gonna tell him to call me. I'm Catholic and not sure of the politics of the Vatican. Faith is. All right. I just told Cam, call me, bro. See if he does, right? What's the space called on X? It's under Patrick's name on X. So Patrick, I think it's just Patrick. It's a picture. It looks like he's in the desert, just standing with a silhouette. Conspiracistard. So it's CONSPIRET, like as in Tom, ARD. Conspiratard. So that's what the space is. God's blessings, everyone. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please can we continue to grow the channel? Share it out to people. If you guys don't mind, X, the BC Preacher, Rumble, the BC Preacher, Facebook, the BC Preacher, Instagram, the BC Preacher. Everything is the BC Preacher. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you very much. Thank you to my mods who are in here watching stuff, checking things out. You guys, they work very hard. Like, they're at like a different level than I'm at right now. They're doing an amazing job. So I appreciate them being in here, sacrificing their time and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys again for the super chats. I think there was one Cash App that came through. Let me check that before get off of here. Kathy, thank you very much. Was it Kathy? No, that was yesterday. Why did it say it was a super Cash App that came through? There wasn't. Never mind. So anyway, have a good night. I'm gonna go check out the space. If you guys want to join me there, go over to X. I'll be on there. God bless you guys. Have a great night.